Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now this right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Some beautiful, well-said, eloquent, common sense. Another great legal mind speaks up against the Trump indictments. This time it's Judge Joe Brown, and I know a lot of people are gonna scoff at the notion. Great legal mind? Judge Joe Brown? The celebrity TV judge? Yes, Judge Joe Brown, the former TV celebrity. You know, he didn't just play a judge on TV. He's got the legal credentials, and he's ripping the Trump indictments as one big legal fraud. Let's take a look at what he had to say. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so let's start off the video by just listening to what the man had to say. It's a little bit of a longer video, but trust me when I say it's worth it. Let's take a look at how Judge Joe Brown views the Trump charges.
What's your opinion on what's happening with the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, right now?
You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and may be used, etc., etc. We know those as the Miranda rights. Miranda was not a nice person. But when you have law, a lot of times some of the most sacred principles are established through the aegis or the agency of somebody that's not nice. Now, if you're worried about downing Trump, you lose track of the fact that what you see, the indictments in New York, Florida, and Georgia are completely outside of the law. Take what this clown Bragg did in New York. Whether you like Trump or not, essentially what they did is indicted him for being the victim of a blackmail attempt. They said he attempted to bribe Stormy Daniels to remain silent. This guy didn't go to law school and didn't pay much attention when he was there, because when you flip the script as you were instructed first year, if you had to pay somebody to be quiet, you got blackmailed. So he's the victim of a felony. If you indict a corporation for failure to file an explicit report as to what the payout was, well, there was a court gag order, and if they filed the explicit report, they violated the court gag order. Okay. Get to Georgia. I won't belabor all of the accounts, but I downloaded the 92-page indictment, and I was shocked to find that some of the crimes were that Trump is supposed to have advocated checking out Newsmax, Fox News, and some other conservative, religious-based news institutions. They're legal. Hell, I read them. So that's supposed to be somehow or another criminal now. All right, you get down to this thing in Florida, and they're talking about the documents. Well, let's forget what Trump did. Let's go back when he was not president of the United States and George Herbert Walker Bush was. There's a case from 1988, U.S. Supreme Court. It's called United States Department of Navy versus Egan, E-G-A-N. And if you read the concurring opinions, they say, since constitutionally the president is the commander-in-chief of the military and chief diplomat of the country, he has an inherent power to declassify or classify anything, any document, in any form, shape, or fashion he chooses. He can do what he wants with it because, guess what? The mandate that causes it to be prepared says it is for the exclusive purpose of advising the president on the state of our intelligence versus what's going on in the world.
You know, that right there is the beauty of a legal mind. I give my opinion on this stuff, but for the most part, I'm piggybacking on, people with actual experience in law. Obviously, I enjoy my own sanity, so I never had any intention of becoming a lawyer. I do my best with my limited knowledge and experience. I think I do an okay job in my interpretation and analysis, but I cannot compete with someone with actual legal experience because they bring the receipts. And that's exactly what Judge Joe Brown did. Bringing up actual cases, actual legal precedent, which essentially, in my mind, totally shields Donald Trump from any of these bogus charges. On the whole hush money payment, which is one of the indictments that we tend to forget about, we don't put too much focus on it, Judge Joe Brown makes a fantastic point. How is Donald Trump the one being charged with multiple felonies when he's the literal victim of a crime? Stormy Daniels signed an NDA, had a legal agreement with Donald Trump, and she broke it. She's the one who committed a crime. Not to mention the need for the agreement in the first place can only be described as one thing. There's only one reason why a hush money payment was needed in the first place, and that's because Stormy Daniels was engaged in blackmail. It shows you how backwards this whole thing really is. Trump is obviously the victim. The Stormy Daniels thing has been one big shakedown since the start, but the way it's being legally perceived or presented by Manhattan attorney Alvin Bragg, it's being presented as a federal election campaign violation or crime. A campaign funding violation, an alleged crime that, at least from my perspective, falls out of his jurisdiction, considering he's a state-level prosecutor. Why is Alvin Bragg charging Donald Trump with a federal campaign violation? That's the FEC's job, and the FEC on multiple occasions claimed that Trump wasn't guilty of breaking finance campaign laws with the whole Stormy Daniels issue, extortion issue. It's like I said in the intro, it's basic common sense. These charges have absolutely no legal standing or no legal merit. These prosecutors wouldn't be jumping through hoops to, practice new, untested legal theories if their cases were strong. If Donald Trump was clearly guilty of, let's say, the January 6th crimes that he's accused of and being charged on, well, then it probably wouldn't have taken them nearly 3 years to put their case together and to charge Donald Trump. Well, hey, it takes time to bring the case together. Yeah, I'm sure it takes time. In fact, I'm sure it takes the exact amount of time needed for the charges to drop right in the middle of the primary process and for the trial to be scheduled right on Super Tuesday. Yeah, it just takes time. Nothing fishy to see here, folks. Give me a frickin' break. Judge Joe Brown's analysis, Alan Dershowitz's analysis, Jonathan Turley's analysis, all of these legal scholars hit the nail right on the head with their legal analysis. The charges are bogus. And it's funny because when you mention those names, the leftist reaction is, well, oh, those are just Republican shills coming out to defend Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't think so. Judge Joe Brown was born in Crenshaw, Los Angeles. He went to UCLA. He's a political independent, as you can see on his Wikipedia page, and has other political affiliations listed as Democratic. In other words, the Democrat Party. Alan Dershowitz is a lifelong Democrat. Jonathan Turley, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't necessarily perceive him as a MAGA Republican. Yet all of these people who don't have a clear incentive to stick their neck out for Trump, well, are doing exactly that. Probably because it's the right thing to do, and they happen to be some of the few willing to show up on TV and simply speak the truth. A fantastic segment from Judge Joe Brown, and I just thought you guys would want to hear it. That's what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.